have to kind of
Hi
get them into the
everyone, welcome
content.
to today's stream. Really excited about this stream. I can't even tell you how excited I am. This is going to be our first developer contest, and I can't wait to go into the contest and really I am you know elated to see like what you guys are going to do with this contest. So first of all, we have joining with us today, we have Damien, we have Paul, we have Justin, and we have Michael Wagner from Ipolog. And joining us on the community team, we have Maddie, Edmar, and myself. So Edmar, is there anything that we want to talk about before we get started?
I'm going to actually just mention one really important thing.
I can't hear. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I hear you. Okay. I think people well, let us know if you can't hear anybody in the chat.
Okay.
But if you can hear me, one of the most important things coming up.
Good.
One of the most important things coming up is SIGGRAPH. SIGGRAPH is taking place from August 8th to the 11th. You do not need to be in Vancouver to attend SIGGRAPH. This is one of the first conferences that they're going to be doing hybrid and physical. So a few of us from the team will be there. If you're going, please let us know. If you want to learn more about SIGGRAPH and what you could learn and participate in, whether there physically or virtually, just go to nvidia.com/SIGGRAPH, which is SIGGRAPH. And we're going to be having a user group there. There's many sessions relating to NVIDIA technology. NVIDIA is presenting more papers than they've ever presented before. And there's going to be great papers presented from all over the world from others. So it's a really fantastic opportunity to see everything that's happening in the graphics world. So that's great. So definitely let us know. And we've added a bunch of events up on the Discord server so you can follow that. We're probably going to add SIGGRAPH events there so you can get notifications. But I will step aside because this is really Maddie's show here. So Maddie, what are people in store for today?
Well, we have a lot to share about our contest. But before we get into that, I do want to have just brief introductions from everyone that we have on here. So to kick it off, Damien, tell us about yourself.
I love to be muted. That's my favorite thing.
It is really cool. My environment's a little noisy, so I was like, okay, I'll be respectful of others. So, but when I talk, I should definitely unmute. So again, I'm Damien. I lead the Kit team. If you're a newcomer, it's really great to see you. Come often. We always have fun. And then yeah, we'll talk a little bit about our contest today, and then answer any question that you might have about Kit.
Thank you, Paul.
Everybody, I'm on the exchange team, and we're just looking to get great tools out to the world. So this is the place to showcase them.
Thank you, Justin.
Hey there, Justin Kovac. I'm also program and product for the exchange.
Thank you. And our very special guest, Michael Wagner. He's one of our judges. Go ahead and give us a little introduction.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mike Wagner, CTO of Ipolog and founder of SyncTwin. Yeah, just love coding in Omniverse, and we've been involved in the BMW stuff, and yeah, it's just great. And thanks for having me.
Thank you. We really appreciate you. Yeah. All right. Well, Damien, I'm going to share my screen, and Damien is going to tell us about the contest.
Okay, so first, the contest started. You're already at 2 days in, right? So if you haven't started thinking about good ideas, now is the time. We have this contest, and it's been a long time making. We've been working at it, and we'll discuss a little bit how you could have seen some of the traces of it growing up. It started on Monday, so you're not too late. You still have plenty of time to get your ideas going and learning, and then write a lot of really great extension to be participating. It will close toward the end of August. There's the date. So you have 6 weeks, rough, give or take.
18th. Yep.
There's three amazing categories that you can participate. Every extensions will be judged on their own merits across the board. But we've prepared 3 great categories, and then I'll describe them just now. So you can create an extensions about theme authoring. Create World, a tool that helps creator make things. And if you remember, and if you've been attending the live streams, you'll see that I gave you great tips on how to do that. And We'll discuss over again the pages and the reference that you can go to learn about some of the toolings that we have in that field. The second category is around building scene modifier. You've got great things, maybe you bring them through some connectors, you build them in Max, in Maya, in Unreal, and then you want to just be able to modify the world, do some things that change things. Again, we did great examples. There's lots of samples around using API in Kit. That's the scene API, but you can also create modifiers of other type of things. You know, if you like, there's really no bound in the technology that you can use. It's just the category around a tool that modify the world, right? The world exists, you modify it. And in order to package all that and interact with the users, you want to create beautiful UI. And we really, love Omni UI, and we're very proud of how it's shaping up to be a really fun and intuitive 3D and 2D tooling to build interfaces. And so we create a category just for that, right? And you can work on your own, build beautiful windows or widgets or sliders. You can partner with designers and have a flow where you show the design and then execute on it. Again, we had great sessions. We build samples where we did exactly that, where we partner with designer. They did beautiful design in Figma or XD, and then engineers just look at them and then just constructed them in Omni UI. And we shared all of the source code in these great samples that are now on GitHub that you can access and learn from. And then we went over them in great detail in previous live streams hosted by Maddie and with some of us attending. And so you've got plenty to go about with those contests. So the requirement is have an amazing idea. You all can do that, right? Know a bit of Python. If you don't know, even 6 weeks is enough to learn. So you're good to go there as well. And then execute, right? Install Omniverse, interact with it, learn, work with the community, get some help from people here on the forums, make some things, and then publish it on GitHub through the process, right? There's a lot of detail and there's loads of video, right? The team here has been working really hard all through the leading to that moment to create many ramps, trampolines even, for you to get to where you need to be in order to create these great extensions. And then toward the end of August, there will be a great judges, looking at your code, reviewing everything, and then awarding, best prizes. One for the best extension ever for that first contest. There's only be one person that wins the first contest ever. So that could be you, right? It'll be a good title to have. No one will ever be able to steal it from you. And there will be 2 runner-ups. Them too, right? There won't be ever 2 runner-ups of the first contest. So it's a great time to be a newcomer on the platform, get great spotlight from the community, great spotlight from your peers. And so we're really, really excited to see what you're going to build to extend the Omniverse. So I'm going to pass it on. I think Michael next is going to share some of the great.
Well, a little bit of good news is Michael is a judge, which means he can't compete. Ha
Oh man, yeah. Now that you say it, crap.
And then, Michael, you're gonna share with us some of the really good stuff that you've been building and maybe inspire the community with some of the great work. You've been an early adopter and a great participant to that platform. So we're looking forward to see what you show.
Yeah, let me try and do you see something?
We see it.
All right. So yeah, I'll share some small extensions we did, and I have to say we've open sourced it, so they're available for you to check it out and do some experiments yourself. First, I'd like to show. I'd have to add we're in the manufacturing domain, so our domain is like the factory, and we have to create tools to enable this holistic digital twin of the factory. So and the first thing people need is a floor plan. So maybe they don't have anything for a digital twin, and so first thing they maybe have a bitmap. And they have to create a floor plan. So we have this little extension which takes a bitmap, right, with a floor plan, and as you see, it generates it as a 3D element, right? and that's basically all it does. And it's got a pixel size, and then you say, okay, that's not 1600, but it's like 50 meters, for example. So if you put in the meters, it just rescales and creates a textured rectangle, basically. So, but it also puts meta information in that in order to determine that it's actually a floor plan. So we try to create like standard components which can be used in such a holistic digital factory twin. And yeah, basically that's the first extension.
Michael, on this one, I'd love to add in. One of the things I love about this is, first of all, I love its simplicity, right? It really starts to showcase how getting some of these workflows end to end working are going to require little tools like this that come together. But the thing that really struck me when you first showed this to me was the next step. So the next thing that people do is they start like drawing where they want their assembly line, drawing where they want their racks, drawing where the trucks are going to come in and unload stuff. And that ability to visualize off of something so simplistic is really powerful. And because my first reaction was like, well, extrude all the walls and make them 3D and make it a full model and make it the full thing. And then I realized what you were trying to accomplish with this, like, no, this is a part of the workflow. I got to plan out how it's going to work, and I just need this starting place. And it was great. It came from a place where, you know this space really well, and a lot of the tool builders out there will know their space really well. They'll understand a really esoteric, specific workflow, and they can think of tools that plug into this. Then the second thing I started thinking was like, wow, this is really applicable to a lot of scenarios. It's not just this plan out your I can imagine a lot of ways to use a tool like this to get rolling. So it's cool. It's a great time to be a tool maker, right? To get in here early and be a part of these like workflows right at the beginning like this.
And you get to need to get the people started by putting these tools, and you can build up on that. You can do like it's alt Python, you've got your OpenCV and whatnot. You can do feature recognition, and I mean Python has all you need, and so you can quickly build up on that. And also what I like about this extension model, you've got little extensions which are just for a specific use case. And as soon as applications get complex, it slows you down. So you better keep to small encapsulated extensions and build up with these. And I think you're gonna stay pretty fast in your overall development path. So that's
to
what I
illustrate
like.
that, some application like Create or Code, they're made of over 300 extensions, right? And so that's really sort of outline that is a lot of modular pieces, right? And one of the mental for Omniverse is extremely modular, right? And that composability of these small pieces with simpler workflow, easy to maintain, easy to move around and recompose in different ways is a key property of the platform.
Yeah. And that's totally what I like about it. It's like this building on the shoulders of giants idea. I think it's this in pure form in my opinion. Next would be the flow rack. So another use case for us. It's we've got like if you remember this BMW environment, there are lots of racks containing material, and it's a very tedious task to actually construct and design these racks. And so we've created like this rack configurator, which is basically creating a flow rack. That's a rack to put like material in, and it reconstructs it from pieces. So we've got these standard items, but let's like that, right? And see, it's now bigger, but I can also say, okay, it's not 2 meters, but 3, if I regenerate it, it gets longer and basically has more, as you see here, more of these rollers. So we initially thought about doing this with graph as well. So that would be another possibility as soon as it supports creating elements. So this is basically just now pure Python. But also here we incorporate meta information that it's clear that this is a rack, and for here, for example, the upper shelf is for empty boxes, and the lower shelves are for boxes with material, and that's important for applications as Ipolog, which use this information to do some calculations or whatnot, that's the rack configurator. And we with SyncTwin we offer these extensions. So SyncTwin is basically a spin-off of our Ipolog company, and dedicated to this digital twin with Omniverse. And so we have these light extensions, which are open source, and some more advanced features, like here is, for example, the full version, which we can use with Ipolog to automatically create some racks for the full factory floor or something. So, but all
Can you
these
talk about that a little bit more? Like I talk to a lot of developers, and they're always asking about return on investment. Why are they thinking about doing this? And there's a lot of different motivations to get started with Omniverse right now. I'm curious about yours. Maybe you can share your story and like how you see this as like, why are you investing?
Yeah, I think as a vision of we've got a vision of perfect products without waste. Currently in factory environments there is a lot of waste throughout the product life cycle. When the designs a product, they have to talk to the manufacturing guys and exchange data, and there is they have to wait. They have the different formats. They don't get the data silos which we have right now. The data out, right? And so this Omniverse, I think, approach is just right, or has the potential basically to create these overall industrial metaverse, as you name it, workflows. And I think now is a good time to just jump on that environment, and I don't see any other environment which currently allows us to create these overall workflows. If you don't look into one company with one product, but with several companies, so the supply chains. So you've got your car factory, you've got the robot factory creating the robots which are used in the car factory. You've got your parts which are used by maybe the robot factory and the car factory, and all these guys have to exchange information and models. And right now, if we eliminate all these wastes points across these boundaries, I think it's a lot of potential for sustainable products, basically.
Very, very true, especially even when you're looking at like the CPG or consumer packaged goods. I always get that acronym wrong, but all of those products are very ephemeral as well, and they do a lot of planogramming, and very similar to this rack building. You need to lay out shelves and visualize what this is going to look like with real product, and extremely wasteful to just fill a shelf in a warehouse filled with empty product just to simulate what it's going to look like in an actual store and get a Target or a Kroger to buy in on those. That's an awesome point there.
Yeah, so Michael, for you, the value is this ability to create digital twins to reduce waste, and the interoperability that you're able to achieve here, right?
Yeah, still the you have to earn money if you do that. I see it right now as an investment for one point, but I think for example this offering like extensions which create value, that would be something people also would pay for, I'd say. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have anything else to show us?
I don't know if you have any more time, but these two we've got several others. On the SyncTwin portal there is like
one thing that might be nice, Michael, if you don't mind, is just show from the extension manager. You are showing them from the extension manager, just show how easy it would be for someone that gets that code to just open it and show, that although they're really useful and they're very practical, they represent, a small investments once so once that extension is selected, you go and you press the little VS Code icons.
That's cool. Yeah. That's it's basically everything on GitHub, GitHub repository, and if you like, then
you wouldn't have to go there, and you can go to the little VS Code icon on top of once you have the extensions, you have these. Select anyone, and then next to the folder, you have the little VS Code icon. When you're gonna click on that, and that would be valid for at the top. Next to the folder on the top, on the right.
It's a very light icon right next to the near.
Oh yeah. I'm probably a little. It's lacking probably my stream. So yeah. Did you see it? Like the.
Oh yeah.
The icon?
Because you're sharing the application. Well, anyway, just for everybody. For any extension that you find, and including the one that will come from the community, you can always press that icon, and then it open Visual Studio Code, and then show the application itself, its source code, and it's really easy for you to learn, how something like that was really cool was made, so you can get inspired and then do your own version or learn from it.
That's super cool, yeah. And this also this debugging and all integration of the Visual Studio Code. That's I think that the development experience is just great.
Right.
So, yeah.
Awesome, yeah. It's Python first. We have hot reloading, so that as you're doing this iterative development, you can just add some code, save your file, test it immediately in Omniverse code. It's amazing how quickly you can get a product out, get an extension out in Omniverse. So with that, let's Paul, do you want to show us the samples that we're providing?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get my screen here. Go live. We're up?
Yep.
Okay. So first, let me start right at GitHub. Close that. There we go. I'm going to start right at GitHub. So we're just going to the NVIDIA Omniverse, NVIDIA-Omniverse. And if I go into repositories and I search for sample, we're going to bring up all the samples that we've got that are related to this contest. And let me sort of orient you to these, and then I'll start showing them some off in the product. There's UI scene. So this is where you can like modify the scene in some way. So like maybe I have a box I click on and I have a call out on it so I can see what's going on, or I might have a slider on top of it to adjust things. Another one is a window. So this is about creating UIs. The CSV reader is about getting data from other files and representing that in the scene. The reticle, I mean, I don't even know what this is about. No, I just
also
have to
about manipulating the scene.
This is about how you like compose your scene, and you can like draw overlays on top of the viewport. And then spawning primitives. This is like the very straightforward, like click a button and an object shows up. So this is like the great hello world start of things. And then scatter is where you can have a variety of objects, and then you can you can procedurally scatter them throughout the scene in a variety of ways. And so they all teach you different capabilities that you can reuse in your examples, and they also teach you various concepts about how to program against Omniverse. Let's look at a couple here. I'm thinking about what Michael showed us. I'm thinking about like the different components. Well, one component you had was you had a UI, right? They all had a little window and it had some text boxes in it. So let's look at an extension for that. Actually, I'm going to show you how to bring in one of these extensions. So let's do UI window. Inside of UI window here, we have a README with the examples on it, and deeper inside, you go into the variety of samples that we've got, and then there's a tutorial. So you can just walk through all the steps, and it has the learning objectives that you might want for it, and teaches you how to build it. But if you just want to use it, you go on in at the top level here, down at the bottom, there is a Git protocol URL. See this right here? And you just need to add this to your extension manager. So if I copy that and I go into the extension manager, and then I click this little cog, this little gear here in the upper right, that'll bring up this extension search paths. And now I can add in whatever source I want. You can add, if you're building these extensions on your local machine, you can add your local paths here. If you want to get one from GitHub, just put a Git link in there, and now you've got it in your list. And in fact, a bunch of people have already started building these. Here, let me delete all this. And you can see in the community tab, here's a variety of ones that people have started publishing to that GitHub repo, particularly this one. So if you publish to GitHub, so like here's Michael's selection info, Excel importer. There's a few others in here that you've got. The floor plan generator. There's the floor plan generator we saw a minute ago. So if you tag your GitHub repo as a release and with the Omniverse Kit Extension topic, then we'll know about it and can pull it into this community extensions space so people can start seeing it right away. Okay, so anyway, I added the Git repo. Let me look for those samples in here. And let me turn on, what was I going to show you? The window, right? Here, I'll just do this one. Gradient window is a good one. And you can see it comes from Git, right? All right, so this brought up this window, and it's got all sorts of stuff. It's got little menus, edit boxes, it's got sliders, it's got styling, like the bounding boxes around it, and so forth. And this UI doesn't actually do anything really other than show you UI layout and how to construct these panels, right? So you can go into the code. It keeps the code really simplistic because it doesn't have all the logic in it. So now you can go in and you can look at, okay, how did they put this like red, green, blue highlight around the box? I want to do that. Or how did they make a slider with a thumb on it that goes back and forth and have a gradient on it? And you can go in there and inspect that and take the code directly and move it over, or you can, re-envision it for what you want to do. So that's part one. I saw that in yours, Michael, is this UI piece that you had to have. You had like pickers, right? And you had edit boxes. Any thoughts on UI? Windows?
It's just straightforward.
Yeah? Okay, cool. The other thing that I saw in yours, what else did we see? Oh, we saw spawning a thing, right? And you converted that to a 3D object and you had it laid out. So that's all creating objects in the scenes. So there's a very simplistic one, which is that spawn a primitive. It just basically, boop, there's a cube. really, really simple. Let me show you one that's a little deeper here. This Omni window scatter. So now
I missed the opportunity to add the boop when you click the button.
What'd I do?
That we should have added a little audio cue on
Yeah,
the.
you forgot the boop.
We need the boop.
Oh, yeah. Boop.
We should have recorded you and added
realized
that to the button.
In the video where I was showing this how this worked, I somehow always do sound effects. I'm like, boop, there's the thing. Yeah, that comes, I think, from my daughter has conditioned me now. because the only thing I use Snapchat for is to send dog and cat nose boops back and forth to her. So it's like boop, and then she goes boop, and then I go boop, and now whenever I do something like that, it makes a boop. Okay, so let's create. There's a cone. I bit my tongue. So there's a couple things that are super interesting about this one. One is I'm selecting something, and I actually want to get a reference to that prim in the UI. So there's a button here that grabs it. I've seen several developers looking for that kind of a thing. Like, how do I get information from the selection into my UI so then I can and into my code so that I can do other operations on it? There's a little bit of sample right there that you can grab, and then you can do all sorts of like configurations, like how far apart you want them, how many you want, how random it is, and so forth. But let me just hit scatter, and so now it's building this like line of stuff up. So that's a good example for thinking about spawning objects, right? Getting objects, collecting them, getting the detail about them, spawning them into the scene, and doing stuff. And it gives you, I guess this applies to both your rack configurator and to your spawn the floor plan.
Yep. And you can also do these point instantiate. How do you call it? Like if you have lots of things.
Yeah.
Point instance, yeah.
Yeah.
This sensor in the live stream, just actually that was last week that we think we showed that one. We show 1 million chess pieces. That was pretty detail actually, of 10 of them, but different sort of colors and configurations, totaling to 250 billion polygons. A lot of polygons. And so watch the live stream if you haven't seen it. We go over that extension in detail. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's very cool. And to your point, there are multiple ways to spawn these. We have a reference, a copy, and a point instancer. And so you can go and inspect the code for this and see what the difference is and see what you would like for your scenario and your particular use case, depending upon what you need. So I think that's a really great one for that kind of thing.
Commands, right? Commands are a pretty important way to do these scene modification because you want the user to be able to undo whatever you're doing, right? Think about you as a user. Whenever you do something and you learn and it's like, oh, that's not quite what I want, Control Z. And it's quite infuriating when it does nothing and you just have to go back and figure out what's happening. So when you build a tool, don't be that guy, or that girl, or, that's all good, right? Be the one that implements undo by making a command, right? So.
Yeah. Okay, great. So there's a lot learning there. And then what else did you have there that I thought was really interesting? Well, I don't know. Did you have anything? Let me show a scene modifier. Did you have any of scene modifiers? Let me show you an example of this real quick. I
didn't. That's something I really like to add for the floor plan to pick on different positions and then display some stuff. Yeah.
Some data about it. Yeah. Okay, so I did that really stealthily, but let me undo it real quick. So normally when you click on an object, you get, I double clicked, sorry. Disable this extension. Now, when I click, it just is doing the selection and all these things are scene modifiers. The outline, the grabbers here that I can go to modify, those are, but what if you want to add your own? So you can use this one, object info. We have a couple, object info, which is just text. Another one, which is like a full widget, and you can do all the controls. And another's like a sliding bar, so you can adjust a property. Well, let's turn this one on. And then now I click it, and you'll see it's got some metadata about it. And so I've seen all sorts, like with your case, I could imagine if I clicked on that rack, I could have a link to buy the rack. Right, I could see the part number of the rack, or if it's a custom order or whatever. Right, that would be really powerful. Or like you said, clicking on an element in the floor plan, and I could get some details about it. Yeah,
all kinds of KPIs or something. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that one seems like a really big one. The other scenario I've seen that's really related to this is there's a company, TAA. They are building these experiences where they have sensors all around a job site, and you can do things like see where the parts are, see where the tools are, see where the people are, and you can do measurements of their temperature, like how hot is this person's helmet, right? And how hot is this tool chest or whatever. And so they have a scene representing the whole space, and then they can see where the parts are at all times. And when you click it, you can see the metadata about that sensor that's going on. So effectively they can build like a control center, right? To say like, what's my job site looking like, and where do I need to rope things off and whatever. And so this becomes a very powerful primitive for those kinds of scenarios too. So that actually covers like the 3 areas of the contest, right? There's the make UIs and make a really great, simplistic yet really powerful UI. There's this one, the scene modifiers, where you can like enrich your scene with specialized data and information, or even manipulators, right? Tools. And then there's the other one, which is scene layout. Like, how do I put stuff into the scene? So Justin was talking about planograms, where you're thinking about your product facings on a shelf. Well, where are the tools that help you fill a volume of the shelf with the right parts and optimize it, and have algorithms around, like, you know, if people buy bananas all the time, we got to put bananas next to these other objects that they don't buy all the time, so that they can come to that section of the store, or whatever it might be, right? So that'll be part of like the scene layout stuff. So that really hits the 3 pillars of this contest. And I showed you like 1 or 2 for each one, but we've got 12 samples out there covering those spaces, plus folks like Michael's examples that will let you go into a layer deeper.
And it's certainly not one or the other, right? One of like any extension that you could build could leverage every one of these concepts. It's just, you know, thinking of where the focus areas from a judging criteria, or the things that we're really looking for as or the judges will be looking for, is, you know, are there ways to exemplify any one of those specific pillars?
That's right. That's secretly my favorite thing, because if I can find a way to torment Damien and Michael and all the other judges, it's to make extensions that are so good in every dimension. They're like, is this UI or is this scene layout? Perfect. That's exactly the struggle I would like them to suffer through, because then we're going to put it in exchange and we're going to give it to the world and we're going to show it off, and you're going to get all sorts of customers to get to use this really cool thing, right? So that'll be great. You get great graphics cards, but you also get like that business momentum.
Nice. Thank you. Justin, I think you had some resources that you wanted to share with us.
Absolutely. Before we do that, I didn't know if we wanted to quickly check on the stream chat. It seemed like there's a few good questions that are coming on. Might be good to answer them in real time.
Yeah, let's do a break.
So, and as a group, you know, Papa Chuck, thanks for all the good questions here. What is runner-ups, and what does runner-up in each category mean as a high level? So, Paul, I don't know if you want to field it.
There's an overall prize to get that A6000 graphics card, and then for each category there's a winner, and they're also going to be graphics cards. So I guess you would call them runner-ups to the one, but think of it like there's 4 graphics cards that are going out: an overall, and then a best of category, right? And then there's also some other cool like stuff to give out below those, but those are like the big parts.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another one, a maximum amount of submissions. One submission will win a prize, but you can submit as many as you want, right?
Yeah.
So
the maximum amount of submissions is 1,016,000.
I thought it was 17. That. Paul, we talked about 17.
We can go over 1,016,000?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. I'm sorry, it's unlimited.
Yeah, we cleared it. We cleared it with Damien's team.
I was wrong. Yep.
And then the last one was, you know, it's a good point, but
hey, one more thing on that last one, Justin.
Oh, yeah.
If we get over 100 submissions, I'm going to shave my head.
Well then.
I'll shave my head.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on.
You heard it. It's recorded.
I'll shave my head. Hair grows back, right? Or at least for a limited time only. We'll see how that goes.
Well, I love everybody here, but I already have that many hair. I'm keeping them a little while longer. So maybe if we have 1 million submission, I will shave.
Wait, did we say 1 million or 100? I'll do it for 100.
He said 100.
I'll shave for 100. I forgot what else we were talking about here. Oh yeah, the other prompts. Someone was asking about, you know, the competition nature of when should I share this on GitHub, and I really do think that that's something that, this is a learn out loud situation. Everyone's very early in the exploration of extension development. We encourage everyone to submit as soon as you have something that you're ready to submit, and not hold it out and keep it aside. If you want to, you can do that and wait till the day before the competition ends and put it out there. But just know that like you helping others and the nature of GitHub and all of the source for these will eventually become available anyways. Yes, there's the word competition here, but it's really meant to grow the community as a whole too. So
we all win together, right? Like building out this community is the key. And if you think about like these workflows are what's important, and there's going to be these tools, a collection of tools. It's like the Battlestar Galactica, right? It's the ragtag fleet of tools that all come together around one mission. And if we can get these things aligned, if you've seen what other people are doing, you might be able to build an adjacent tool that could like connect these things together and get some really cool workflows going. The other thing is we really want to help you, but we can't help you one-on-one. And the reason we can't help you one-on-one is because that's unfair, right? So we want to keep the event and the competition fair, but we will gladly help you in Discord. So come into Discord and start sharing what you're doing, and then we'll be there talking. And because it's public, it's fair to everybody. So everybody else can see what's been happening and they can get the same advice and all that kind of stuff. And the community will help each other. We'll help you. We're in there all the time, every day. So I think getting in early and starting to share your work really early will be to your advantage, even if other people can see it.
Yeah, I don't think you're not necessarily gonna get an edge by being secretive. I don't think in this case.
And almost everybody in the community is really cool. There's one person I know who's not, but everybody else is really amazing.
Well, you always tell me this, Paul, and I don't understand why you point that at me. So hopefully my screen share is still running here. But I did want to cover up from the contest. This should only take a minute here. From the contest landing page, the one resource I wanted to show is, for starts, this is the main place you want to go in any case. And the links are in chat and everything else. Go here first, read through the contest summaries. It has most of this information that I'm about to show you redundantly or upfront of the things you need. But if you're looking for additional resources, or you're looking for a single pane of glass of where to find how to submit, how to get started, and where those samples are that Paul was showing off, definitely look at the GitHub contest page. So if you scroll down a little ways through the main contest page, you could also search on GitHub and do every other way, but there is the GitHub contest page as well. And so again, a lot of redundant information here for all intents and purposes, but what it's really meant to be is just another, like a field guide. Get started as quick as possible. Make sure you install Omniverse. Most importantly, grab the newest version of Omniverse code. We just released a new one, so you want to use the latest. It has the new scene APIs and other things available that if you are still using the older one, you might see things not work the way you expected. So grab the latest and make sure you have that. Also grab cache too, for that matter, because that's usually a dependency that we'll be looking for. But few steps for building your first extension. Hopefully, we're always in Discord. Use that as much as possible if you have any questions or concerns around there. But then, as Paul shared, there's all of those different samples, and these are organized into the different groupings. The layout and scene authoring tools, the scene modifiers, and the styling or the UI different samples. And some of these, as Paul showed, have, they're called out as a collection in that they have 3 or 4 or more samples all in one. So you can drill down into the extensions folder of each one of these and look through, and you'll see this one example that while you're only adding one GitHub URL, it could be a composite of 4 different extensions that have completely different purposes, or at the end of the day, you might build an extension that is an extension of extensions, right? So you'll potentially want to logically separate your extensions as you're building these. So definitely go here and look for all the different samples. We have some links to technical documentation as well, which should be helpful. And then lastly, the submitting your extension. So once it does get to the point of you're pretty happy, you've talked with some of us and shared some information if you want to, we're always here to give a second set of eyes or give some thoughts or feedback. But then we have a video that kind of covers that Paul recorded for how to submit for the actual process. But really, there's a few key steps, and that's all about just bundling your submission for GitHub. And that means putting it on the community section, to Paul's point earlier. So you'll want to add the the Omniverse Kit Extension topic. You'll want to publish a release. It's all super easy to publish it. And again, check out that video. It's less than 5 minutes. Really easy to just go through and check these final boxes if you're pretty happy with the testing and functionality of your extension. And then lastly, of course, submit. So I mean,
real quick on that last submit one, I want to dwell for just a moment.
Dwell on.
Short video demonstrating.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be really important. We have folks that are going to go through and like look at all of everything, right, and really like dig into what's going on in these extensions and helping the judges understanding the technical depth and what it's serving and stuff. But it's really incumbent on you to make sure you have a video that illustrates the point, right? So let that shine through in your video. So think short, meaning 30, 45 seconds, a minute, something like that, but also not like, oh, here's me enabling my extension, then I do this, and then I do that. No, just go right. Hey, I saw a problem. This is the solution. Boom, boom, boom. Here's the thing. Check this out. This is really great for your window because, really great for scene layout because, or whatever you want to say, and just like pump that out. That video is going to make it way easier for people to get a really good feel for what your intention was, no matter what. Right, and see how to use it. So I would really look at it. I know it's the second to last line on the entire page, but that's actually a really important thing for you to hit.
2 minutes, make it sparkly, make it shine, tell the story. And the functionality is a really important part of these extensions. But as you saw, with Michael, that he demonstrated, I named Brett, but like the story is just as important, right? So if you can tell the story and you can help illustrate that. You don't need to be a pro Python programmer and an expert developer. If you could tell a really good story, that's going to have points too, right? Like there's a lot to the workflow that we're trying to unlock for developers and for any creators and scientists and everyone else in between. And so that story is just really important.
Yeah. And our amazing marketing team just chimed in and said that if English is your second language, you can totally just write the description in your native language, do the video in your native language. We'll figure it out on our end. We don't want that to be a barrier for you.
We actually did just open up a couple of non-English channels in our Discord. So if there are any non-English speakers who would really feel more comfortable talking in your own language, just ping me. We only have Japanese and Portuguese on there right now, but ping me if your language isn't there and you think there's a community that would also be able to use that, and we will add it. As Paul mentioned earlier, we do have a specific channel for the contests. Actually, it's called Contest Extend Omniverse. It's right at the top of the channel list, so you can find it easily. And then I'm going to throw something else in the mix. Hopefully the marketing team doesn't mind this, but if you don't use Discord, but you still want to ask questions about the contest, just use the hashtag Extend Omniverse and tag us on social media and ask us a question. We'll answer there. You don't need to be a Discord user to be able to talk to us. And I actually think that might even be more beneficial for showing other people what some of the questions and answers are to a wider audience. Yeah. So use the hashtag Extend Omniverse. There's no the. So Extend Omniverse. And then you can tag us at NVIDIA Omniverse on social media.
I give a quick community shout out. There are a few folks out there that have been building some stuff already that I am just super excited about. I'm looking at the GitHub topics, like Perfect Products, Michael, that's you, and SyncTwin, thank you, that's awesome. Maddie, of course, you're out there. True VFX, you guys have done. Tony SM has done some stuff that's really cool. Mario the One, Parg, Justin, count. You've got one out there. That's awesome. None of those count for the contest, you know that, but that's cool. I love that you're out there with the community building together. K. Eric Bowman, another one. That one won't count. That's internal. JVE, more from you, SyncTwin, Michael. Man, you're killing it. XTEO. Yeah, there's just a bunch of people that have already started sharing stuff out on GitHub. There's like 28 projects out there right now. So cool. I hope we can get this rolling. I'm it's going to be hundreds of thousands very quickly, and it's going to just be like, I want to make Justin's life. He really works on the product design of Exchange. Let's give him a problem, which is there's so many good things in Exchange. He's got to find ways to package them and showcase them and feature them and get like wonderful bundles of great extensions and experiences out to the world. And I want to just overwhelm Justin. That's my life's goal, is to make his job really hard and exciting.
I have no comment. I totally agree. I want my job to be hard.
I totally agree. You're a monster. Yeah, I totally agree.
The masochist inside me.
Cool.
Well, I also want to add, so this is a great opportunity because we currently have on the stream right now 2 of the 8 judges. So I would like to ask each of the judges, we'll start with our guest of honor, Michael. What would be your one piece of advice for someone who has not touched Omniverse at all? They're just looking at it for the very first time. Maybe they heard about Omniverse through this contest. What would you say would be, what do you do first?
Just get started coding and yeah, get your hands dirty, and you can't do anything wrong, I'd say. And look into the code. Right click on apps. It's a source of inspiration. Yeah, you look at what's there, and for every problem, normally you find already the solution in the existing code.
That's awesome. And of course, Damien, what do you have to say to your new and old fans?
No, yeah. Well, so I got a bit more time than Michael. That's good. As a second, it's I think you have 6 weeks, right? So minus 2 days. You know, you missed Monday, Tuesday, but you're okay. You were here on the live streams. You have 6 weeks. Think about a cool idea, right? I think definitely you need to get your hands dirty. You need to write the code. You need to write some tests, debug, be ready, make a cool video, have some music. All these things will matter toward the end, but you have to start with a cool idea, right? Just think about something sizable but not too big, right? You only have 6 weeks. It's still a lot of time, but it's still gonna go quickly. But think about a cool idea, something that's interesting, that'll be fun to demo, that'll be fun to use. There is quite a lot of inspiration out there. Right? There is a lot of great things inside Create, Machinima. You can look at those and say, oh, I wish that tool was working slightly differently. Right? And you can make your own spin on it, right? Then you can look at this tool, and then you can look at all of its source code and be inspired on how they did the sequencer, a mini sequencer, how they did the paint tool, how they do a little stage window. I want to do this. You look at these tools and find some way that you would have done it differently. That's a good way. Also look at tools that have different things, right? Max, Maya, Unreal, Unity. Oh, I wish in Create there was this tool from Max or Maya. Well, it could be, right? It could be you that brings it for the first time, and think about this cool idea or something that is interesting. Have a little bit of a plan, right? And then you can learn. You can look at some of these extensions, make a little bit of your structures, and then after, yeah, definitely just get in there, iterate, write the codes, engage with us, right? We'll be here to help, right? We won't, hold your hands for the idea. We might not hold your hand for the final touches, so everyone's the same, but we will give broad stroke to everybody that engage with the community, right? It's fair game to ask for help. It's a community contest. That's why you want to share your code early. If you say, I've got a problem, I think doesn't work, and then you say, oh, my code is hidden because I don't want to show to anybody, you won't get as much help, right? So that's part of why everybody say here, be in the open. If you have a cool idea that you're doing it with passions and, perseverance, no one will just go into your space, right? It's your space. Just engage and share with us, and then race is on, right? You still only have 6 weeks. Use all your spare time. It's the winner is going to be pretty epic, right? And so you could be a runner-up, but if you really want to win, you're going to have to kind of make all of your passion count, right? So.
And let me also say this too, because it always comes up in contests. And as much as we would love everybody to be eligible, and wherever you live in the world, there are some limitations, mostly due to legal or customs or some kind of laws. So we can't support every country. So if your country is not on that list of eligible countries, you can still submit. But not only that, we always celebrate people who are creating stuff on Omniverse. And we have an Omniverse Gallery page where you can upload a video of your work. And there are other opportunities to support you in different ways. So, for example, you're interested in making video tutorials or blogs. Get in touch with Wendy or myself or Maddie, and we would love to talk with you and how to work with you on that kind of stuff also. So just because you might not be eligible to win the contest, you'll still be a winner in our minds, and we'll find other ways to work with you. So,
but tool, we'll put it out to the world. We'll put it in Exchange, and we'll get it in the extension manager, and people can use it. And that's probably the biggest joy of all of this is like having customers use your stuff and just having invisible gratitude, of like, wow, that was really an awesome tool. And it's still a ton of value.
We had one question. I don't think it was answered on the live stream. I think it was answered on Discord. But is it acceptable to take one of the existing NVIDIA GitHub extension samples and add features and make that a contest submission.
So the the detail is really like if you only change the buttons, I guess it's acceptable. You're not going to win, right? So you just have to figure out, you have to have a large amount of modifications, but they've been built for you to use them, right? So you shouldn't be shy to just go and grab a chunk of code and, oh, my window looks exactly like the window because my submission is in the create the world type thing, right? Actually, if you look at our create the world create world example, it reuses the window example and just change it very slightly. So it is definitely that's what they're for, right? And equally, you can also mashups are great, right? You can also steal and borrow everything from the create or code, right? That's also really great, right? The composability of create and Kit, the platform, is that you shouldn't have to reinvent anything. What you want is to invent something new, right? And then for that, you have to be able to grab everything that exists and compose it in new ways and add your innovations, right? That's what you will be judged on, your creativity and then the usefulness of what you've made. Not necessarily how you build it. Of course, if you've made beautiful codes and everything, we will like it. I love beautiful code, but the usefulness and the creativity of what you made is really what's going to be judged upon.
Brilliant answer. Well, I think we're nearly at the end of the stream.
I wonder,
go ahead.
would it be helpful to share? I should share some links to documentation and stuff before we go, I think.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Yes.
Well, Maddie's doing that. Also, we'll make a quick note. So we're going to hang out for a few minutes on the Discord server. So we have a community voice chat channel. So if your question didn't get answered during the stream, or you just want to hang out with us for a few minutes, we're going to jump there right after this. And that's just discord.gg/NVIDIA Omniverse. And there's a channel called Community Voice Chat. So it'll be just like what you're looking at now, except with you. So come and join us and hang out with us for a few minutes longer.
Cool. Thank you, Edmar. So yeah, people are still here. They're not leaving. So I just want, you can read about this on the developer contest page. But for this contest, we're using the code application. You can get it from the launcher. It's called Code. You launch it. You get this. This is my secret extension that now I'm sharing with the world. Video feed in the viewport. It's just an image right now, but it'll be a video. And in here, we have some in-app documentation, which is amazing. It's interactive. It's live here, so you can get an experience of how things change. That's the UI documentation. This is the UI scene documentation. Lots of different sections here. We have a section for USD, which is will help you with the scene layout category, and a few others. The viewport will also be useful for the UI scene category. So I wanted to show you that. We also have our developer documentation. My colleagues will help out by sharing these links in the chat. But this is our developer documentation. You have just an overview of different parts of Omniverse and Kit, and also API documentation for the bundled extensions. And then we have our user documentation. So if you're absolutely new to Omniverse, you want to dig into here as well to understand how some of our apps currently work and how your extension that you're building can fit into an application. And to get help, we mentioned Discord. That's a really great place to ask questions. And also we have our Omniverse developer forums here. There's a developer section where you can ask all sorts of developer questions, and we'll jump on it. So that's all I had to share. Paul, I will let you have final words. Tell us.
If he gets final, can I give a word quick?
Yeah, go.
Really quick. SIGGRAPH, we're doing some stuff for that, right? We're going to be talking about extension building. So very important. Yeah, as mentioned, it's about the tune-in, and if you're there, we'd love to meet you.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. Yeah.
Let us know.
Well, I'm just so thrilled to be a part of this. We had a dev jam a few weeks back that was like very ad hoc, and we started talking with everybody in the community about what's going on and what they're building. And now we're starting to get into the phase where we've got like training materials around the different pieces. And I think now what's going to happen is conversations about what are you trying to build? What kind of experiences are we about to unlock? And the innovation that I bet we're going to see is just going to go crazy. And so in so many ways, these are just like adding new features for creators. And so creators are just going to have like an explosively like productivity growth here if folks pile on like this. So I'm so excited for everybody who's building stuff with Omniverse, because here come the tool makers, right? And it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, awesome.
You're muted, Maddie.
Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for Michael for joining our stream, and all of our guests, Paul, Justin, and Damien, and our awesome community team, Edmar and Wendy. Couldn't do it without you. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, join us at the community voice chat.
Yeah,
Get your Discord
there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good luck.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.